So, when I was thinking about something to talk about in my next vlog video and such, I didn't really know what I was going to talk about. And then I got a Amazon package in the post the other day, one which I had ordered last week and came yesterday. And I still got to start one of the items on that package. The other one is in use right now, not the iPod, the case. But yeah, the other one I still need to start, and I figured if anything, it was a good basis for what I want to talk about in this video, which are the two biggest elephants in the room, as I like to call them, in my life. First one, this book, it's called Overcoming Low Self-Esteem. It's by Dr. Melanie Fennell, pronouncing that right, sorry. Dr. Melanie Fennell, and what it's supposed to do is identify what's causing your low self-esteem and why and your thought process behind it, and it's designed to try and help you with that and make you feel better about yourself. One of my best friends has started it, and she's hoping it will help her, and she recommended it for me as well. Now, my self-esteem is pretty much non-existent. I mean, it's like there's nothing there. I can't think anything good about myself. I can't believe anything good about what other people tell me. I didn't realize this was such a problem until maybe a year or two back. I just thought it was all natural, and then when people started asking me, why do you think this way about yourself? And I will honestly, for a while, I've said, I don't know, that's just the way I am. And then when I thought about it, when I just talked about it with some people, it's probably like, Ed, do you have any self-esteem? And I had to look deep inside myself, just what I was doing, and just be like, no, I really don't. I don't have any. Like I said, I can't think well about myself. I can't believe anything nice people say about me, and trust me, I want to. Everybody thinks the world of me. Right now, I don't understand why, but I'm not going to stop them. Everyone thinks the world of me, and I appreciate that. I really want to believe them. I do. I don't want them to feel as though they're talking to a brick wall, thinking I can't take their compliments and their praise and whatever. It's not like that. It's not like I don't want to. I just can't. And it's just gotten to a point now where it's just getting a bit too much. And people are saying it's making them sad, it's hard for them to see that I can't accept anything good about myself because they see it in me. Everyone else sees it in me. Why can't I see it in myself? So, and I was just thinking to myself, it's got to stop. I need to find some way of putting a lid on this. And so I've got the book. I'm going to start reading it soon, and hopefully it will help. And hopefully I can get past this and it will stop being so destructive. And I was just thinking, if this goes on, I can't really have like much of a future. I mean, maybe job wise I'd be alright, but romantic wise, I just wouldn't see myself as any good for anyone. And just trying to explain to, if I ever found someone who felt the same way as I did, yet explain why I can't be with them because I would see myself as destructive. It would just be too hard to do, and I wouldn't want to do that, and I wouldn't want to put anyone through that. So here's hoping for my future in general. And the second elephant in the room, quite a few people will know about this, but I suffer from mild autistic spectrum disorder. Now, what does that involve? Well, a quick Google search. It's a social thing. It's a social and psychological thing mainly. But a quick Google search just put out 10 symptoms that are common for people, what I have, and I just made a few notes. So obviously I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I went through the list and there were quite a few, the majority of which I identified with 7 to 3 out of 10. So 7 which I have, 3 of which I'm sure or don't have at all. The first one is having few friendships or relationships. So forming these can be hard for people with mild autism. An example of this is that idiosyncratic behaviours, language limitations, and limited perspective taking abilities can create a barrier and make forming these relationships very difficult compared to most people. And what I've just listed, plus many non-verbal cues that are quite essential for reading your romantic partner, these are very difficult for someone with this. So that's the first one. And I can pretty much put a tick on all of those. All of those, I can just say tick, tick, tick. I have difficulty with all of that. Just I'm grateful for the friendships I've had, but over time it takes a while and it takes a couple of meetings, a couple of talks before I start to really feel comfortable in a friendship. So if I ever meet you for the first time and if I seem a bit aloof or something, it's not the fact that I'm not enjoying your company. I probably am. It's just I'm finding it very difficult for those reasons to really open up, and it will take time. Let's just say forming friendships takes time for me. I can't just hit off an instant connection. So that's number one. Number two, non-verbal communication challenges. So that's difficulty interpreting facial expressions, gestures, and maintaining eye contact, plus frequently misreading other people. Yeah, definitely. I find interpreting get that right, one of these. Interpreting those very hard. I can't get a good grasp as other people can of what a facial expression or a gesture might overall mean, what they're trying to express, and I just can't get that. I'm just not very good at reading those sorts of things. And the eye contact thing, that's probably one of the things that stands out most. I find it very hard. When possible, I try not to do it, but if I ever try to, it takes a great deal of effort, and sometimes it can lead to this thing where I roll my eyes into the back of my head unwittingly because I'm finding it hard, and people are asking, why are you doing that? What's that all about? And I'm just I can't help it. It's just, I find this sort of thing very difficult. So if you ever meet me and you see that going on, it's not on purpose. Can't help it. Number three, lack of empathy and shared perspective. So this is struggling to understand others' perspective, and this can lead to a supposed lack of empathy on your part. It's also difficult to share other people's interests in a topic, to sympathize with others, and also a lack of understanding of what others might think, want, or feel. And it can also lead to misunderstanding jokes and attempted humor. And the lack of all of these can lead to many social problems. Can pretty much take all of those right out of the gate. It's even when talking to other people or in talking to people online, I can't tell what people are going through, even if they are upset and just conveying it. They just have to tell me, because I probably wouldn't be able to tell through words alone. And in terms of sharing another's interest in the topic, it's not that I don't want to be interested in the topic. I really am genuinely curious, can be genuinely curious about a lot of things. It just can be quite hard for me to engage unwittingly in an interest about this topic. Sorry, my mouse my screen just went wacko because I haven't been moving the mouse at all for 10 minutes, so it does that. So yeah, it's not like I don't want to share and understand um, an interest in the topic. It's just I find it very hard, and I don't want to come off as being uninterested or unsympathetic at all because I don't. It's just yeah, it's just a thing. It's just part of my makeup of what I have. And also lack of understanding what others want, feel, or think. Yeah, I just went through that. It's just I can't tell, even when talking to people face to face. It comes back to the difficulty interpreting facial expressions, gestures, and such. All of that combined, it's a mess. I can't understand people. I can't see or get an impression of what other people are thinking, and it sucks because that just makes me. It would make me quite. It would make other people think that I'm unsympathetic or don't understand or I'm just generally not interested in what they're going through, and that couldn't be further from the case, honestly. I mean, I want to understand, I do want to be able to know these things, but yeah, just the way of my life, just how it is. Number four, hard to start and maintain conversations and difficulty processing thoughts into words. Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. I find starting conversations very awkward. I generally just can't do it. I just other people have to come up and talk to me before I can get into a conversation. Just that's the way it is. And then maintaining those conversations can last for a few bounds of like going back and forth to general conversation. I'm just like, I don't know what to talk about next. I can't maintain it. I'm very difficult. I find it very difficult to go along, and then just the conversation can either just peter out or awkward silences is usually the way it goes. So I hate it. I want to be able to talk to people normally, but what can you do? Number five, preoccupation on topics. We People with this fixation know a lot about certain topics. This hyper focus on these topics can be good for the individual concerned, but leads to problems, and these problems are social if others are not interested in that topic. Yes, all the yes to this. I have a few things that I'm very interested in. I mean, I can talk about what goes on in the YouTube videos I watch, other topics I'm interested in, certain anime, WWE, football, Formula One, video games, music, just certain topics that I just very fixate on, and just if I try and talk about those with a majority of people, people probably won't know what I'm going on about or won't share my interest. And it's just, yeah, I just have these very focused interests that probably aren't a lot of use to most people. So I can be quite lucky sometimes and find other people who share these interests, but for the most part, apart from the ones I mentioned, I find it very hard to be able to talk about many topics that I probably haven't got into as much as the ones I just listed. Number six, repetitive behaviours. Yes. Not going to get long about that. Let's just say I do have a few behaviours. Let's just say I do like weird things that can be quite repetitive just when I'm just, just even when I'm just relaxing, I can just like do like a repetitive behavior that just seems very out of the ordinary, very strange, very out of place, but I just carry on with its repetitive behavior regardless because it's quite comfortable. I mean, sometimes I tie a rubber band around my finger, I'm having it tie around again, all that sort of thing. Um, Sometimes I just trace lines on my hands. Sometimes I just ruffle through my hair, just constantly. It's behaviors like those, repetitive ones, things like that out of the ordinary that I just find very comfortable doing. Just like, did you see what I did there? Just this grasping onto my hair, back of my hair, pulling it down. That's an example. That's something I do quite often. That's a very repetitive behavior I do, and it doesn't matter what situation. And I could be nervous, I could be having a good time, and then just all of a sudden I'll just be like, yep. So that's a sign you can see. And the last one I identify with is a need for routine. So what most people can take for granted is a willingness to explore new situations and meet new people and feel very comfortable with it. And people like myself, we find these things very strange, very difficult, and this can lead us to be quite unwilling to experience or adapt to new situations. For us, routine is a great comfort. So this can include, for some people, dislike of traveling places, trying new foods, which is very prevalent for me. I can be quite fussy eater and it takes quite a bit of convincing for me to try something new. Keeping the same schedule and finding it very uncomfortable when it changes. Yeah, I must admit that's definitely something I can identify with. I like a good schedule. I like knowing what I'm doing every day. I have a plan for a day, and then when it gets changed out of the blue, I find it very difficult to adapt. And for example, like today, I was just preparing for a relaxing day, maybe start reading my new book and such. Then my mum calls me and just be like, "Can you like deliver some flat pack boxes to the church she was working at today?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I can manage that." But just inside, I was just thinking, this isn't what I had planned for today. But things change, and in the end, I went along with it. But it's not very comfortable for us. We just don't really like it. We find it hard to change the plans we have. Definitely, if I make a plan and I'm sticking to it, if a change of plan is coming along, I find it hard to adapt. And if someone's trying to ask me to change plans, I just find it a bit of a challenge to try and either formulate a new plan or make changes to that plan. And then the last thing is using the same routes for travel. Yeah, I use the same routes wherever I go, wherever I'm traveling, unless I'm forced to take otherwise. That's pretty much part of the course. Then there are three more that I couldn't really identify with, or I'm not sure whether I have them or not. The two that I'm pretty sure I don't have are sleep problems / anxiety. I don't get that at all. And savant skills. Yeah, I can't really say I'm talented in anything. I really don't have much skills. And the one I wasn't sure about and unsure I have is what's called sensory processing disorder. I'm going to have to read more on that and then see if I can identify with it. So, yeah. So, low self-esteem and mild autism. That's two of the major components of my life right now. Bit different from what I usually go through, a little bit longer, but still, thank you for watching and thank you for taking the time to listen to this. And I hope listening to this has given you a better understanding of what I go through in my life, and yeah, just a general understanding of what other people like me could be going through on a day-to-day basis that may not seem so obvious. I'll try and get another video up in the next couple of days. So until the next one, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys take care.